This morning, we have the pleasure and privilege of speaking to His Grace, the Archbishop of Port of Spain, Jodhan. Welcome, Your Grace. Thank you, Your Grace, for being here, especially in your capacity as World Community for Christian Meditation Caribbean patron. We're focusing today on contemplation and the earth, or contemplating the earth. And I wanted to refer to the recent conference of the parties, the United Nations Convention on Climate Change, their 26th meeting, COP26, where Father Lawrence presented on what he called inner and outer ecology. And to ask, what is your understanding of terms like inner and outer ecology? What do you perceive or think or might explain to us they mean?
I think it's a beautiful term. Pope Francis, when he wrote Laudato Si, talked about ecology in a way that was different from how I had heard it before. And he went to the integral ecology. And by doing that, he picked up from Paul VI, integral human development, and applied the concept to the ecology and showed that we can't segment humans from animals, from the ice, from the climate, from the temperature rising, from the depopulation of species, etc. This is an integral ecology. And then he uses beautiful word, our common home. Now that just puts it all in its frame. Because whether we are polar bear or human being, whether we are bird or fish, this is our common home and we share it together. And that really gives the notion of integral ecology. And so the outer ecology, if you'd like, speaks to this interconnectedness of all living beings, the forest, and the human, the oceans, and all the planet, and an understanding that the planet itself, our common home, has a particular reference point for all of us. Just the same way you treat your home and keep it clean, make sure it's in harmony, make sure all these other things. We do this for our common home. Now, to move now to the inner ecology, that's where this notion of the outer ecology and the integral ecology and our common home now takes a whole new meaning, because moving to the inner ecology, what we're now saying is that there's an integral connection inside of us. And this is rooted again in Paul VI's teaching of integral human development. Is the development of each person, every dimension of the human person. And to talk about the inner ecology is to say that we're not just a body, that breath was breathed into us in the creation. And so we are body and a spirit. And these two are in harmony. But we have emotions. And that too must be in harmony but we have a mind and we could think. That too must be in harmony. And therefore the inner ecology is a harmony, if you would like, that the whole of us comes to when we are doing or living in a way that we are intended to live. And that's both our purpose and living out of our deepest center.
Well, making this an easy segue for me to the next question, which was, remarkably, I'm still referring to Father Lawrence's talk, he spoke of meditation practice as being the link between inner and outer ecology. Right? I like the word bridge. So the bridge between inner and outer ecology. And I'm wondering if you could trace that bridge for us, that link for us, in the way meditation might work as this link.
You see, we have come out of an industrial age where we have mechanized everything. And the dominant image behind all thinking is this mechanism or mechanized thinking. And we've treated the planet, our common home, through this mechanized way. Well, if we deforest a couple million hectares, so what? Well, so what? We're breaking the harmony. And we've done the same thing to the humans. So what? We have so many people who are starving. So what? So what that we have people who are now slaves again in the 21st century. And this is just a product of us going to progress that never stops. But this mechanized thinking has created the problem that we're facing. The problem of the planet, the problem of the depression of the human being, the problem of poverty, of temperature rising. Whichever way you go, it has come from one source. And that source is that we have lost touch with the truth of who we are and lost touch with the fact that we are interconnected with each other. And because we have lost that, so many things have gone wrong. And because of that, it can't be pulled back with mechanized thinking. Einstein says you cannot solve a problem at the same level as which the problem was created. The problem of late Western modernity, late capitalism, postmodernism has been created from industrialization. It can't be solved with that mentality. It has to go to an integral thinking if the problem is going to be solved. And it's really not a problem. It's really a reconnection that needs to happen. We used to be connected to Earth, to each other, to the environment, and inside of ourselves. And so meditation for me is that bridge, if you would like, or link. I prefer bridge also, to that brings us to this sense of a center and this sense of the interconnectedness between us and the Creator, us and the creation, us and ourselves, and us and our neighbor. And that actually is the role of spirituality, the reconnecting which was disconnected. And the first disconnection was with Adam and Eve in the fall. And this reconnection is bringing the sense, is not that we're putting God in the center, it is that we're recognizing that God has always been here.
Yes, I mean, I completely follow and think it's marvelous. Meditation was described as a catalyst for transformation, non-measurable but perceptible, and which is what you are alluding to, or even speaking directly to with your integrated thinking approach, and that it leads to wisdom. So I'm just going to ask, what do you think wisdom is? What really is wisdom? And does that transform our inner ecology?
You know, there's no fool like an old fool. You know, that's it. And getting older doesn't necessarily make you wiser, because you could have the same experience every day, repeated. Wisdom is really the summation of the experiences of the human. But wisdom is also a divine character that is seen as God's consort when he was making the world. And so this connection, and this is why the integral model is the one that I'm going towards, because you can't see God as somewhere else. God is also in here, but God created everything. Wisdom is coming to the truth that I'm a creature. I am a creature, but I am interconnected with every other creature. I have a role and responsibility because we were asked to both guard, to till, and to guard the creation, not to rape it and not to destroy it. And the wisdom is that we must come back to our role of tilling, nurturing, guarding, protecting. And that's wisdom. Wisdom is coming back to that harmony that existed in the garden before the fall, and living that harmony here by the interconnectedness with God, with all others, with ourselves, and with the creation. And that's what meditation facilitates. That bridge where we recognize we can't operate out of our head, because we are bigger and more than just a head. We are heart, we are body, we are interconnected with everyone else. And the deeper we go into the meditation practice, the more interconnectedness we experience, and the deeper the wisdom and the tradition of wisdom becomes accessible to us.
So beautiful. So I'm just going to end with this final thing. In this particular season, this beautiful, powerful season of Advent, when we are called to wait, would you say that wisdom that comes from that meditation practice, as you so beautifully put it, that interconnectedness that comes with it, comes from it, and cultivates our inner ecology, does that leave us hope? Does that take us to a hopeful place?
In meditation, in every breath, if you use the Maranatha tradition, in every breath, you're saying, come Lord. In every breath. And the very structure of the breath and the prayer is a structure of waiting. Now, EQ is based on delayed gratification. Every breath you're calling, every breath you're waiting. This is building up EQ, emotional intelligence. But it's also bringing up PQ, because by breathing and centering the body, it means I'm coming to rest in my body also. But it's also bringing up the SQ, the spiritual intelligence, because with every breath that I'm taking, I'm more conscious of being connected to the divine. And it's also bringing up the IQ, because as I do this interconnectedness, I start to realize things that I might have left before. And so for me, the meditation practice in itself is the builder of this interconnection of the human with everyone else, with God, with the creation, and with itself. And that discipline of meditation. There are many times I go to meditate and my mind goes in 1,000 different places. And just a simple discipline of coming back to the breath, back to the word, back to the posture. That simple discipline is in itself an asceticism. And that asceticism that you practice in every breath that you take in the prayer is what leads us then to the deeper disposition to God and to each other, and the connection between the inner and the outer ecology.
Well, it's been wonderful connecting with you, Your Grace, and to hear this beautiful explanation and exploration in even these few minutes. So thank you so very much on behalf of the World Community for Christian Meditation, Caribbean, and in particular Trinidad and Tobago. Lovely to be with you.
It's been a pleasure to be with you, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.